There was a time, a simpler time, back when Disney had some of the best TV shows on television. DuckTales, Chippendale Rescues Rangers, Darkwing Duck, Tailspin, just even Gargoyles, dude. I mean, come on. Come on. And then, of course, also, there was a time where Shovel Knight ruled the indie gaming world. And in some cases, it still does. I mean, I was blown away by Shovel Knight, just like the depth of it. I was like, wow.
It's one of the few games I ever quit on the final boss fight and uninstalled. I'm never going to play it again.
Really?
Yeah.
That bad?
It is because I apparently didn't understand that I didn't have to down attack to do what I needed to do to win the fight, so I thought it was completely bullshit. So it was too fucking hard to do, in my opinion.
Okay. And then, of course...
It was a case of, like, the mechanical aspects of the game as far as the game had taught me without actually teaching me so far didn't align in my head to what the final boss fight was asking to be done.
Oh, okay.
And I misunderstood it, and I got pissed at it, and I uninstalled it, and I looked it up later, and I was like, oh, it was easier than I thought. But at this point, I just don't care anymore.
All right. I guess that's just how it is. But also, another thing to talk about simpler times. This was a death battle that was released back when the channel was still called Screw Attack. God. I miss the days where, big media conglomerates didn't just buy up everything and then wreck it by trying to change it.
Mm-hmm.
I miss those days.
I miss the days when certain companies weren't big media conglomerates and were actually just independent studios doing funny stuff.
Yes.
For the hell of it and actually succeeding at it.
Sheesh. But, alright. Scrooge McDuck versus Shovel Knight. Two, hopping video game protagonists who hop with their choice weapons. Scrooge McDuck with his cane, and then Shovel Knight with his trusty shovel. I think that's where they're drawing the parallels on this for this death battle. But I think it's high time for us to just go ahead and check it out. Because this is an old one. This one was requested on our Discord. So I saw it. I was just like, why not? Let's give it a shot. So let's check it out here. This is Scrooge McDuck versus Shovel Knight. Here we go.
Some people adventure for wealth. For others, the wealth is in the adventure.
Either way, you'll be successful if you can bounce off your enemies' heads.
Like Scrooge McDuck, the wealthiest waterfowl to ever live.
And Shovel Knight, a shining example of the code of chivalry. He's Whiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. In 1867, Scrooge McDuck was born to a poor family in Glasgow, Scotland. He grew up a relatively normal duckling until his 10th birthday.
Scrooge's father took him to see the remains of the old McDuck clan castle. See, their family wasn't always super poor, and Scrooge was inspired by the sight of their former glory. So the next day, he got a job and earned his first money ever. A dime.
Problem was, it was an American dime, and Scrooge wasn't
Is
Scottish.
this song originally from DuckTales or something?
I think it is.
It's like, I actually never realized that the meme version of that song was apparently like a remake or something.
Hold on. DuckTales game theme. Here we go.
Holy shit.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, it's actually not even a remake. Like, the meme song is the NES version of it. The version they're playing is a different version.
I actually found it. After all these years, I've achieved inner peace. Out of all things, I didn't expect DuckTales' music to slap this hard. Oh. Damn. So, alright. That's actually really cool.
Naturally
where that
feeling
meme
pretty
came from.
cheated, Scrooge swore he'd build his fortune by being, I quote, tougher than the toughies and sharper than the sharpies.
So he hopped over to America to start his quest for wealth. And judging by his money vault today, where he literally swims in gold, I'd say he did a pretty effing good job.
No obstacle was too difficult to keep him from fortune. By my estimations, his entire net worth today rests around $300 quadrillion.
Rich as he is, he's got to defend his treasure.
$300 quadrillion.
Trove somehow. So this wealthy waterfowl's got more guns than I do. Not to mention the trusty cannons he has hidden around his manor. Nothing like some
Tally-ho,
old-fashioned
lads.
artillery for home defense.
Scrooge also has a number of unorthodox high-tech firearms.
Or as normal people call them, laser guns. My favorite is the one that can shoot through solid steel titanium. It's called the Burglar's Stunner, but I'm pretty sure that'll do a hell of a lot more than stun you.
Well, my favorite would be Scrooge's Nutra-Friction and Anti-Inertia Rays. By removing a target's natural friction and inertia, these guns can turn a foe so slippery they can't grip anything, or take away all momentum from that foe's movement and weight. Without friction, a person will slide miles upon miles with no hope of stopping themselves. Without inertia, a cannonball will have even less impact than falling leaves, though it is important to note that these guns do not affect personal gravity.
Yeah, science and stuff. Though if I were him, I'd prefer the feel of one of his rifles or swords.
Or his signature sidearm, his trusty cane.
Yeah.
What's so special about a dusty old cane, you ask? Well, just look at the old quack go. Not every duck can turn their cane into both a club and a pogo stick.
Yeah.
Even when he's unarmed, Scrooge's thirst for wealth has pushed his body past many preconceived limits. He possesses incredible strength, speed, and durability.
Not to mention, the dude's got some serious huevos. One time when he was stuck in the savannah, he walked right up to a lion, beat it in a roaring match, and then just rode it all the way to town.
He's also a surprisingly skilled marksman.
Like some sort of gun-toting Mr. Miyagi, he can shoot flies out of the air with perfect precision.
And he's no slouch with a blade. Apparently, Buffalo Bill taught him how to knife fight in, engine style. And now's a great time to remind you that Scrooge is pretty old.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, engine style, the thing is just... that term, engine, like, a lot of people, like, the term Indian, a lot of people have negative connotations about it. Well, the native tribes that it's used to describe use the term Indian openly and, like, with near universality to the point of where it's just, like, it's like, they don't perceive it as a negative thing. It's...
That particular version, on the other end,
well, engine,
it's
like,
a bit dated and
I think it
harsh
just
sounding.
comes from, like, I think it just comes from, like, the verbiage and, like, the way of saying it. Much
It
like
is.
how we say, instead of, like,
It's like the
You all-
the far South Texas guys basically
Y'all.
smushing the word together.
yeah, basically, and also not only that, but whenever you hear something like, y'all, like you all over there, or youans, or yuns. Like, alright, now yuns listen here, alright?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's weird how language works.
It was a different time.
Racism aside, it takes a lot to put this mighty mallard down. He survived the Titanic sinking, being frozen solid in the Yukon, fighting hordes of wild animals, and taking a cannon shot to the face before being dragged through a minefield. He's even survived
Cartoon
a trip
physics.
to the literal center of the Earth, which, if you've forgotten, is pretty much super lava.
That's putting it mildly. The Earth's core is estimated to be well over 9,000 degrees
Doesn't sound to me
Fahrenheit.
like Shovel Knight's gonna have any chance in hell of killing it.
Well, when you're talking cartoon logic, yeah, I think Scrooge has the advantage.
Then hard enough to cook your goose.
He's outrun a cheetah, which can reach 75 miles per hour. He's stopped a charging water buffalo, which can weigh up to 2,600 pounds.
And did you ever hear that legend where George Washington threw a silver dollar across the Potomac River? Well, Scrooge can do that too. And he even caught the coin on the other side. Because Scrooge isn't gonna waste a single dollar.
Seems pretty impressive, but Scrooge has some massively problematic flaws. Least of all is his age. He's 150 years old. That won't do him any favors in a fight.
And why can't he fly? I mean, he's a duck with his own private plane, and he has human teeth, and they really should just hire a poultry scientist at Disney. Oh, I'll send my resume.
Well, more importantly would be his overpowering greed. He can often lose sight of his goals or explode into an uncontrollable rage if someone threatens his wealth.
He is pretty selfish and has a one-track mind. I don't know if the uncontrollable rage part, though, is such a bad thing.
Certainly not in some situations, like the time Soapy Slick tried to rip Scrooge off, steal his property, and humiliate him by chaining him to a steamboat and making fun of his letters from home, including one informing Scrooge of his mother's passing.
That's more than enough to piss Scrooge off. So much that he literally tore the entire boat apart with his bare hands. Or wings. Holy damn, that's some real foul strength.
Just goes to show that nothing can stand between Scrooge and his wealth.
I don't know which was wilder in those days, the wolves or me.
Jesus.
A long time ago, the world was wild, and adventurers roamed the land. The most famous of whom were partners Shield Knight and Shovel Knight.
You can tell how good they are by the giant piles of loot behind them.
Shovel Knight and Shield Knight traveled together, and they were the stuff of legend. That is, until the Tower of Fate.
Once inside, a cursed amulet knocked Shovel Knight out cold. When he woke up, Shield Knight was gone and the tower was sealed shut. And boy, did that bum him out. So, like all depressed heroes, he abandoned everything and went to the wilderness to do a bunch of farming and most likely drinking.
Soon after he retired, an evil woman called the Enchantress took power, along with a group of villainous knights known as the Order of No Quarter. Get it? It's funny. So maybe retiring wasn't the most responsible idea.
Man's gotta mourn, Wiz. Man's gotta mourn.
You mean like when you took a week off to mourn after your divorce? Because I'm pretty sure all you did was get drunk and shoot fireworks at my house.
Ah, yeah. Man, that was a real good mourn.
Why is it chasing him?
It's tied to his shoelace.
Oh, okay.
After the Enchantress and her
Makes
knights
sense.
took hold of the land, the Tower of Fate unsealed. Knowing it was his only chance to find out what happened to Shield Knight, he dug back into action. And with him, he took his mightiest weapon. A shovel.
Don't sell it short. It's not just any shovel, it's a shovel blade. And thanks to its surprisingly versatile nature, it can slash through anything from rats to...
Holy crap! Did he just kill a dragon with that thing?
Yes,
Yes, he did.
That reminds me of the time I made my own weapon out of a yard tool. I miss my rake blade, but everyone got really confused and offended whenever I yelled my catchphrase, "Prepare to get raked!" So
God dang it, Boomstick.
Well, you have a friend in the grapist from the Whitest Kids You Know.
Yeah, the raker and the grapist. It's just like, dude, what is the guy doing out there? He's raking you. Wait, say that again? He's raking you. It's like, oh, he's like raking me over the coals. No, he's literally raking you. He's raking you right now. You know, you should pay him to rake you. What?
Anyways,
What?
moving on.
I stopped using it.
Oh, probably smart. Well, thanks to the Shovel Blade's unique attributes, Shovel Knight has a repertoire of deadly attacks, his signature being the Shovel Drop.
This deadly downward drop allows him to dig into his enemies, pogo stick style. Now, where have I seen that before?
He also has a charge attack that, when unleashed, does massive damage and can even penetrate armor. If his enemy is more than a scoop's reach away, he can strike the earth to fire a dangerous spark that travels along the ground.
You know what else it's good for? Digging up all of that sweet, sweet treasure.
Yeah.
But the shovel blade is far from his only weapon. Throughout his journey, Shovel Knight has acquired many magical relics, which are
Speaking
quite
of
handy
striking the earth, by the way, play the best song!
in battle, though they do
No
require
balls.
access to a limited supply of magic to use.
He can set stuff on fire with the flare wand, or punch through compact dirt with the dust knuckles.
He can also take the wind out of his enemies with the throwing anchor, or fly a short distance with the propeller dagger.
If Shovel Knight needs to kill bad guys in those hard-to-reach spaces, he has his trusty Chaos Orb, which acts like a bouncy ball of doom.
He also possesses the Mobile Gear, a mechanism which allows him to traverse dangerous terrain such as spikes and small gaps with ease.
Mobile gear. But my favorite relic is the
Mobile
War
gear.
Horse.
Mobile gear. Colonel, I've discovered something new. Snake, what have you discovered? Mobile gear. It's like, is that a new thing, Snake? He's like, yeah, it's pretty fucking hype. Mobile gear.
Which is kind of like the Horn of Gondor, but it makes people explode.
Shovel Knight carries a few defensive relics as well.
Yeah, like those sweet fish goblets.
You mean the Truple Chalices? These special liquid receptacles can carry ichors, substances which, when drunk, provide certain benefits to Shovel Knight. Most notably, the Ichor of Renewal, which fully restores his health and magic.
And how do you get such a useful liquid?
Hi,
From a
Bilbo.
bunch of fish that perform an interpretive dance and spit in your cup. It's dinner and a show.
Last but not least is the Phase Locket. This relic allows Shovel Knight to pass through his enemies and even grants him temporary invincibility while under its effect.
Like all good knights, our shovel-wielding friend protects himself with a suit of shining armor.
It's a soft boy.
Hope he's wiggling.
Actually, he's got a few of them.
His most capable all-around set is the Dynamo Mail. Along with providing the kind of defense you need for fighting the forces of evil, it has an added bonus. Hitting just about anything with his shovel drop builds up a powerful charge attack.
Normally, a large suit of armor comes with a lot of extra weight, but Shovel Knight doesn't let that slow him down.
Even in full plate, our delving hero seemingly never tires and is agile enough to dodge everything from cannonballs to
Bilbo.
Billy Bo, stop that.
fireballs.
Actually, the weight is more of a bonus since his attack of choice is bouncing on heads.
Oh.
Is math that.
On it, comparing his height to these doors, Shovel Knight appears to be about 4 feet 6 inches tall. Given his broad physique, he likely weighs approximately 100 pounds at most. In the 14th century, a knight's plate armor for combat typically weighed about 60 pounds. Scaling to Shovel Knight's height, his armor likely weighs 50 pounds. Including the 5-pound shovel, he must drop with a force of over 6,700 joules of kinetic energy. In comparison, Mike Tyson can punch with up to 1,600 joules and has knocked out 44 people in the ring. And Shovel Knight's striking power is over 4 times stronger than that.
Good job! No wonder Shovel Knight was able to take down the entire Order of No Quarter, including a giant steampunk
I still don't think that's
mech.
going to be enough to take out Scrooge, though.
No, I think Scrooge has got this.
The Enchantress herself.
He's also stubborn enough to hold his breath underwater for an impressively indefinite amount of time. And he even held his own against the Battletoads and Kratos, the upcoming god of war.
What the hell? Really? That's awesome.
Holding his own against
If you sell
Kratos
enough
is kind of
games,
saying
you can
something.
get
But
anybody.
Yeah.
But even after all that, Shovel Knight doesn't seem the most intelligent warrior. After all, the only reason he gave up on Shield Knight for so long is because he just assumed she was dead.
Still, he's one deadly warrior who isn't afraid to put his enemies 6 feet under. You know, because he digs holes
right
and
there,
stuff.
right there, that part.
That part?
That part right there is why I fucking uninstalled. Because you have to, like, I thought you had to actually shovel bounce off of her shield to hit the boss. And doing both was nearly impossible, but apparently you can just stand on her shield, and I never realized that for some reason. And when I watched somebody do it in a video after I had given up, I was just like, son of a bitch.
That's so much easier.
Yeah.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once
Strike
and
the
for
Earth
all.
is the best song from the game, though, and
I've
that's
got
still something that I love about the game, despite having gotten mad at the game and given up on it.
Hold on. Let's see. Shovel Knight.
It's just literally the music from the first level. It's so good.
That's good. I like that.
It might be my favorite 8-bit song besides, well, I think technically, I don't know if it's 8-bit, but like retro inspired, you know?
Yeah.
But besides Danger from Secret of Mana is my favorite one.
Yeah, that one's obviously.
But this
like
is probably my second favorite one. When I heard this, I was like, this is bitchin'.
Well, damn. It's a good one, I'll give it that.
Some free food for you.
Oh.
Time for a death battle!
I'll take all this. What are you doing in my house? Fight!
I think they were already fighting before you said fight. Cannon.
Ew. Oh. Come on.
Into the gold pit.
Come on. Boom. Don't. Oh. I'll take that, thank you. Bye-bye. Oh!
I knew it.
Damn that.
Thieves beware! I'll behead you and put your head on a spike.
That's cold. With his own weapon.
Shovel Knight might have been able to uphold the code of chivalry, but he could not hold up to Scrooge's wealth of experience and superior strength.
Aside from the extra 100+ years of experience he's got over Shovel Knight, Scrooge's speech blew him out of the water. For example, there's no way that Shovel could have put him down very quickly when he's powered through a minefield like it's nothing.
And remember how he threw a coin across the Potomac River and rode across fast enough to catch it? Well, we know the average width of the river is 1,300 feet, and he threw the coin at an angle of 20 degrees. After some quick calculations, this means he must have thrown the coin, boarded his boat, rowed across the entire river, and exited the boat to catch the coin in less than 5.4 seconds. This
See,
means
that's-
he must have...
Speaking more to the speed of his boat than his personal speed, though.
Well, no, he rowed the boat.
Oh, he rode the boat?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it wasn't a motorboat.
Yeah, in the panel.
Oh, okay. I
he's
thought it was a
rowing.
motorboat. Well, yeah, now I see that he's rowing. Okay.
to catch the coin in less than 5.4 seconds. This means he must have been rowing the boat at speeds well over 164 miles per hour.
Jesus, how fast are his arms moving there?
To make all of that work, at least 14,400 rotations per minute.
That's
Wow.
fucking awesome.
He is strong enough to rip apart a steamboat after all. But regardless of Scrooge's power, Shovel Knight had very little options to defend against the Duck's wackier, physics-breaking weaponry. Those that could buy him some time could only last for so long due to his limited supply of magic.
Plus, Scrooge has fought knights and magicians before, while Shovel Knight never fought anyone quite like Scrooge McDuck. Looks like Shovel Knight dug his own grave.
The winner is Scrooge McDuck.
Next time on Death Battle.
Probably something we've either already seen or known about.
Venom versus...
It's the Venom versus Lucy?
No, that was Carnage versus Lucy.
Hey guys,
So they only showed one person back then?
Yeah. I don't know. Damn.
Yeah, this was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, 6
6
years.
ago.
2017. Wow. A simpler time.
Mm-hmm.
A better time.
When Walmart was still open 24/7.
Yeah, before the pandemic. Jesus. So, yeah, I figured that would be the case because of, cartoon stuff. Because of cartoon stuff. That's the literal, reason why. And honestly, it is what it is nowadays. Because after the whole, Popeye versus Saitama one, I'm just
when they start measuring their durability by, the cartoon things that they survive, it basically gives them near infinite durability sometimes. So,
yeah.
I mean, Shovel Knight literally dies to one hit from anything that touches him almost. No, wait, no, you do have a health meter in that.
Yeah.
You have you can get hit 6 times and then he's gone, depending, he can drink the potion at least to keep himself alive for more hits, but he's not super durable, even though he's in a suit of armor.
Yes.
It's a hard game. I actually was looking at a lot of the powers they were talking about, and I'm like, I don't think I even used many of those. Hardly at all that I remember. I don't remember, any of those.
I don't know, man.
And for some reason, I kind of felt like I was like, yeah, this is a really simple game. It's all just jumping on enemies and down attacking and stuff. Yeah, and then I saw some of the stuff they showed just now, and I'm like, maybe I just completely misunderstood Shovel Knight as a game.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Well, there's things that I would like to get into again with Shovel Knight. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see how things go. But either way, I got nothing else to add to this. This was the death battle between Scrooge McDuck and the Shovel Knight. I guess until next time, everybody. I'm Nate.
I am Nick.
Y'all be good. Oh, and there's Bilbo.
Oh, yeah, nice Bilbo.
And we'll see you in the next one, everybody.